we'll just understand what is actually ETL process, how it's work, uh, what is the things behind this, right? Uh, Suppose in ETL, let me just explore some diagram. There is two process uh, in your database. Let me check. I'm just showing you three diagram. First, you can understand there is your extract process ETL. ETL there is three word. ETL means E means extract, L means T means transformation. We are working basically on T part, transformation part, and L means load is actually. Load is any database you can use for your data loading, either your TXT, either your data relational database, or any kind of SQL server or SAP, right? But yeah, your this one, your source will be either SAP, ERP, or TXT, or XML, or .csv format. Any kind of format your source will be, you can use, right? Here in this place. So here you can use any ETL like SAP, just like I'm showing you SAP, you can use SAP, ERP, Oracle ERP, you understand, right? There is application. Suppose you are working in manufacturing, having the multiple department. There is suppose any product is coming, and once product is comes in finished good, then product will prepare. These kind of information is stored in ERP. Once this process is done, then we'll pull the data from here to there, right? There is our when comes in our ETL process. Why comes in ETL concept in industry? Because in last 10-20 years, there is only started something in mostly company industry comes in our digital format, right? So ETL comes in picture because we want to analyze that things, if which project is using by persons, by people, by industry, yeah, in huge quantity, like, so that we can based on that we can take analysis and then take a decision in market. Then you can produce the product and increase the productivity production in our industry, and so the pre-plan on the basis of that, right? So that's why this concept is comes in picture in market, right? ETL, but because ETL in reporting, mostly industry person is using reporting, means what is actually dashboard and reports kind of. But these concept in ETL comes in middleware because no industry person is using in directly, but data, he's actually looking the data, but how to process the data. If you process, we are processing the data by using the Informatica or other ETL tool like SSIS and other things, right? So in current market, mostly the big company they are using the Informatica, because Informatica using multiple source, so you can process any kind of source like SAP having the data to different format, right? And like structure or in unstructured, and your Oracle having the your structural data kind of, there is the relational database having that database we can connect as a source here. We can pull that source in our Informatica. Then after that, whatever given the logic or as per our requirement, how to process the data, means process means actually the based on the requirement we start the processing. Suppose our business required it, I want to please show me the sales of entire till the till 3 quarter, 4 quarter, last 4 quarter, so that I based on that I can analyze how much sales of which product using more. Uh, there is the different concept we are in. Suppose one dashboard will be show for sales, one dashboard will show for the production. suppose one raw material is comes in our company, and how much raw material is used and produce the finished good kind of, right? So these concept in here you're using multiple things like Oracle, Oracle. You are using .txt and the CSV, right? You understand the source, any kind of source you can use, right? After that, here is basically transformation are using T. Here is actually load. So in the inside the transformation, we are going to use multiple transformation. We are going to use the ETL under we are using the tool in Informatica, and inside the Informatica there is multiple concept or transformation. I have explained that router transformation, lookup, and all that. We'll use one by one and just transform our data accordingly based on the business requirement. And last one is actually there is the load. Suppose you have processed all logic you have done here, then you load the data in target directly. Either target is your txt or Oracle or anything. Anything means CSV or other things, right? Only a relational database txt like FTP concept. These are the actually ETL process, and basically we work on mostly here transformation type. In Informatica, there is concept is working on ETL because uh, uh, first is your extract already the resource, and T is transformation, L for load. First in Oracle, if you are talking about Oracle EBI, some ODI tool is also there in market. There is concept some different ELT. So I just explained so that you can know that one. If first we just extract the all data in our data warehouse, then load the data in our data warehouse, then transform in last step. Actually, in ODI concept, there is another tool that one also doing the same concept. All data for reporting perspective, but in ETL, SSIS, and other talent tool, there is using the ETL concept. In AWS Glue is also using the ETL. Okay, you understand that process, right? Ritika, any question here? Ritika,
No, good.
Tanya? No, right? Okay, so I comes in once done, I just come back in data warehousing actually concept. How comes in data warehousing concept? Because in extract process, sorry, in load process, we are using the big data warehouse, because in ERP we are using very less small database kind of TB and not big data. But data warehousing, we are just pulling the data from multiple source, so we use them. So we need the data warehouse concept here, because if your data warehouse is not big, then how you load the data from multiple source, right? So then our data warehouse concept comes in picture for ETL process. So just going back in concept of data warehousing, what is the actually process and what is the main term in data warehouse we are going to use actually, right? So here are some concept I just want to explain here. Actually, data warehousing concept is actually there is the relational database, same kind of your ERP, whatever we are using as a source for storing the data. But yeah, here is the size is big compared to your ERP, right? That is designed actually in query and business analysis rather than transaction processing. Why is saying the business analysis perspective? Because we are just analyzing the data, not processing the data, right? Transaction processing. Day by day, we are not inserting kind of. We just loading the bulk load here in data warehouse. Bulk load means we just pull the data and the loading in one time. Like suppose your data is millions. Like in a daily feed, we just put in the data, some millions of record in one table, right? So we just load in one time, not processing day by day. Suppose why is saying the transaction processing? Transaction processing means we suppose you are the retail industry. Just take example in Amazon. Suppose I purchase one product. There is one entry inserted in your Amazon database, right? Yeah, I am some person name is this. There is the and we just purchase one product. Their product information and the price and all things will be stored in our in his database. There is transaction processing day by day. And if we imagine want to just analyze the data, if particular this product, how much which person is means in the month, how much quantity is sell out, right? And that time we use the data warehouse database for a business analysis, right? So that we can analyze and just understand key particular this product is used by which area of person. We can track the area. Suppose who is the purchaser, place the order based on the address, right? Where there's some address, blah blah. So we can just analyze his area, cities, kind of. If particular this city is demanding particular this product, right? The kind of this analysis you can use through the data warehouse. That's why we design the data warehouse for huge quantity, huge kind of data. So what is contains is contains the historical data actually. Data derived from transaction data. The historical data is used by the business analyst to understand about the business in details, because who is actually basically using we have to hire in our company like a business analyst. They can use and understand which product using by more in the markets, kind of, or which product is demanding more, so that we can increase before quantity in our warehouse, so that person there is the uh, like shortage will can remove, right? That's why. So what is the data warehouse? Data warehouse is a relational database that is actually designed for the query and the business analysis perspective, rather than transaction processing, right? It actually contains the historical data, means that one is OLAP concept, means online transaction analytical processing, right? It contains the OLAP concept, not a OLTP. Data warehousing having the OLAP concept, that from transaction approach. This historical data actually be used by the business to analyze. By the business or top management will use that data actually. Understood? Uh, Next, actually, what is data warehouse in market? Actually, there is according to there is the two persons who is actually invent this concept. According to there is the one Billman, famous author, who is the several data warehouse books he written by him, and he a data warehouse actually he as per him he said there is the subject oriented. Suppose what is the subject oriented? Subject oriented means you know the what is the purpose actually. If there is the multiple industry in the market, right? Multiple industry means there is the retail, manufacturing, healthcare, right? Banking. So you know first what is the subject actually. Then you can write the your concept and pull the data, then design accordingly. Second one is saying the integrated. Integrated means all your data will be integrated, time variant, right? Non-volatile, and the collection of data in support of management decision making process. The last one said that all things will support your data to management decision, so that management can take a decision on time and improve our his business, right? Now we'll study about the what is the subject oriented. What it means actually. Subject oriented means there is the actually data warehouse can be used to analyze a particular subject area, right? Subject area means I explain like there is the industry. Suppose we work on healthcare, right? If healthcare you are working, there is the subject your healthcare, and business wants to relate it to healthcare. Suppose we work in healthcare and we putting the data from multiple provider and payer information via the member, right? So that information we just analyze and send to business. business want to report kind of how much payer is uh, earning on which type of patient coming in daily basis, right? So that kind of means process design. We just read the table on particular that table, and in target we target design basis of that a business required a patient information, provider information, and what is the amount in transaction processing by daily, and the member just take insurance, then how much um, person out of pocket using, or just your using each insurance perspective like benefits, how much benefit is taken kind of. So we just analyze. So yeah, here is you want to clear your subject oriented concept. If first we clear the subject, you're going to write an ETL, then you understand the, what is the subject actually means which because mostly industry wide industry this concept is changed, like how to write that query and the process, right? Theory cell, for example, sales can be a particular subject. One to sales increase, one to something your production increase, perspective of production, perspective of sales. That kind of here is for given example by sales because you want to improve the sales for particular sale quantity, so that we can analyze particular area and improve there. You
Which I have a
understand?
quick question.
Yeah.
Like database, right? You said like Oracle as a database. There are multiple databases which from where we can extract the data. But what is like as a data warehouse? Like, is there any company that or any product name like how data is stored? Is it a product like Oracle? It's the database, right? But a
Yeah.
data warehouse,
Just
like what it is?
yeah. Actually, data warehouse is nothing. Actually, that is the database. Actually, only we just increase the size.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because we are using in ERP. ERP we just given the less size, so that we know that there is not more data here, right?
Okay.
But in our data warehouse, we are also using the Oracle as a database. We installing the Oracle in database, but we given the size is very huge here, so that you can store the huge data like millions or trillions size of data. You compare
Oh,
from your Oracle ERP data warehouse or database and your ETL data warehouse or database, right? That will be huge difference, like 10 times, 100 times it will be different. Suppose if we go in any industry, just check the data warehouse database size in your ERP and your ETL data warehouse database, then it will be found the difference, like suppose your 100 GB size given in your ERP, you know the daily transactional data will comes, but in data warehouse you are processing, here is concept is staging then load, right? That's why we increase the database, and we are keeping the data store as well. So
okay.
because in your ERP we just scrap out the data, but in your data warehouse we are storing historical data, means 10 years, 20 years, we are not deleting anything. Why we are not
Right.
editing? Because we want to analysis, because we storing
Mm.
the historical data. That's why we increase the size only. Yeah, the concept why we are data warehouse, because we increase the size. Database behind this we are using the same Oracle, or you can say like SSIS, somewhere is using SSIS SQL Server, right?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Subject oriented, you understood, right? I'm going to next.
Yeah.
This one is the basic concept. You know the first, because you go in industry, there is the basic concept. You know, then you can. There is actually once you go for analysis in final, then it will comes in picture when going to design your dimension, fact, and other things in your data warehouse. Yeah, next one is actually integrated. What is actually integrated means? Actually, this one is data warehouse concept. Integrate the data from multiple data source, right? For example, source A and source B may have different way of identifying a product. but in a data warehouse there will be only a single way. Why means integrated means here just I'm taking example. Suppose your just take an example sales, right? Sales having your behind there is the two dimension. There is two product. Some product A, product A and product B, right? Uh, suppose just to take an imagine example. There is a multiple product, right? But in sales there is last one is sales is a fact table. Fact having the all sales information, no matter how many a product is there. But your before that, your dimension having the multiple product, right? So he said all integrated. You know the how to join that dimension to fact, right? So you know how to design the dimensions. So he said you need to integrate that data from multiple data source so that we can store in particular one file and analyze that one, right? So means he know the all the data should be integrated, right? Then you can relate that so that you can go in lower grain. Suppose we want to we want to see the particular one item, so yeah, one product sales, then you can go at lower grain. That's why he say all data should be integrated. Lower grain means we just go check the particular product, what is the product and sales. Then is second grain will comes like which product by using by which area, yeah, which country using by more. So we comes in second lower grain comes in our country. Third will comes in our city. City means state. Okay, which state using by this? Then comes in city. Like that will come. Oh, oh, sorry. Third one will come in time variant. Time variant means your historical data is kept in your data warehouse, right? For example, one can retrieve data from 3 months, right? Another one can retrieve data 6 months. Another person can retrieve data 12 months. That's why we store the data as a historical. That one called a time variant, or even older data from your data warehouse. This contrasts with a transaction system where often only the most recent data is kept. For example, a transaction system may hold the most recent address of a customer, where a data warehouse can hold all addresses associated with that customer. Why saying transactional process? Suppose your ERP having the always latest data, right? A latest customer. We are not having the concept by SCD. Suppose any person is moved from one city to another city, right? Previously, is ordering via Amazon that to this address, right? He changed the address, but your Amazon data warehouse keep the previous and the current address both. But in ERP, if you go and search, there is only latest current address will be there, not a previous address. But our data warehouse store all address. If suppose we go and check particular this person ordering by which city, which country, right? So we can see, we can visualize that data in data warehouse. But while we are checking in our transactional processing, sorry, ERP or other system, there is no only recent data will be found there, right? So that's why here concept comes in a time variant. In time variant, we can see the data on the basis of the time, like 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, last 6 year data we can visualize based on our design. Actually, some company keeping the data last 5 year, last 10 year, or based on his data warehouse size and other things, and based on the company requirement. Some company having the data last 3 year only because he's using the data for analysis perspective last 1 or 2 year only. Sorry. Next one comes in non any question in time variant with Katanya?
No.
Okay. Next one is non-volatile. Non-volatile actually, once data is in the data warehouse, right, it will not change. Suppose you have load the data in your data warehouse, so you're not going to change anything in data warehouse. It will not non. That's why we call it as a non-volatile. Because if you change, there will concept will change. That's why we just restrict the not change in data warehouse any data. We just load, we just keep it as it is. If you want to change, you go in your ERP or other way, then you can change. It will come in next day, and the data will be in change state. But your previous data already there, and your new data will insert it, so that you can analyze previous data is what and the current data is this. The non-volatile means it will not change any. So historical data in data warehouse should never be altered. That is the actually concept. Never change, right? That's why we can show the previous and current data. These are the actually concept. Now some themes you can just read out. There is the Billman and Rolf. He is the written actually data warehouse concept. So he just explained how to process the Billman. Some company follow the top to bottom, and some company follow the bottom to top kind of. So there is the given some concept here, how to processing the data like that. He just said, I'm just comparing both things. He just written like that. In the data warehouse field, we often hear about the discussion where a person like philosophy all into Billman camp, and we describe how below the difference between the two. Actually, Billman, given the data warehouse, one of the part of our business, he said in enterprise data has one data warehouse. Enterprise means like ERP, and data source their information from data warehouse. In the data warehouse, information is stored in the third normal form. You know the Oracle concept actually here comes in all normal form, first, second, third, right? So you know some Oracle concept as well. So based on that, here is said, we store the all information in third normal form. And is compared to this concept, Rolf is using the data warehousing. He said conglomerate, but he said the overall business intelligence system, right? Of all data mart. Rolf which comes concept is a data mart concept, but in compared to Rolf, Bill Inman said the all are comes in business intelligence. Like first we go and create the data warehouse, right? Within the enterprise, information is always stored in dimensional model. He said we store the all information in dimensional model, means part by part, and data warehouse is a copy of a transaction data, especially structure of query and analysis. He said we create the all data will store a dimensional model, right? And copy the transaction data. Whatever in ERP there is the transactional table, we copy the transactional data in the structure. But there is no right or wrong between these two ideas, as they represent different data warehouse philosophy. Actually, in reality, the data warehouse system in most enterprise are closer to role idea. Actually, this is because most data warehouse started out a departmental effort, right? And hence they originated as data mart only when more than data mart are built later to the involved data. Suppose actually why I say the role comes in picture, because any company not designing in one initial stage is big data warehouse. He just day by day starting his and then increasing a data warehouse concept. Because initially he just started with some concept, some department which proceeding in our ETL process. Like there is the multiple department, either your sorry, payroll, finance, and other thing. So he just started only sales initially. I start the creation of your dimension tables and fact tables, right? Then once this process will execute properly and work properly, then we'll proceed another domain, another module like finance and payroll kind of, right? So mostly in our industry we are using the Ralph Kimball. Okay. Some example, this one, in order to store data in over the years, many application, right? Why is saying the data is storing over there? Like we are using the ERP and we are storing the data over here. Many application designer, each branch have made their individual decision, right? Some suppose as a store layout outlet open by Amazon, right? Amazon, you can take any example store, grocery store kind of. So some stores were decision by own because based on the area and the customer is keeping the product accordingly, right? So he said the stores also having the individual decision and how to application database should be built. So source system will be different in naming convention, variable measurement, and the encoding structure, right? And the physical attribute of data. While saying the physical attributes, the product and other things also will involve. Considering a bank that has got several branches in several countries, has a million of customer and the lines of business of it, the enterprise are time saving and loans. The following example, actually I've given the some example here ki how to design that one, like source system 1, source system 2, source system 3, right? Source system 1 actually customer application, just like customer application date, so kind of this column name will design customer application date in source system 2 like this. Name can be different, right? Someone is based on the each member here how to given the data and what is the data so, type will be there, right? Accordingly will be designed. Itika, actually timing is defined in 40 minutes only, so we'll need to rejoin again.